Hi everyone. Have you ever checked a beehive or wasp colony? Well, if you have, you know how mesmerizing it can be and how such stupid insects can create something so fascinating. Bernardo here, and this week I'll be exploring the intricacies of emergence. Well, emergence can be described as small things coming together and creating bigger things that have different properties than the sum of its parts. It's complexity arising from simplicity. We can find emergent features in swarms, like flocks of birds and packs of mammals. It's almost like trying to contradict the second law of thermodynamics. Life finds a way. It finds a way to organize, structure, and emerge. From atoms to nations, we come together through the newfound properties that emerge from such interactions. Emergence heavily relies on self-organization, which is a process in which order arises from local agents interacting. If humans are left behind to self-organize, you'll probably find some sort of structure instead of the overall feared chaos. And this has been documented for more than 2,000 years now. Humans, they're the basic elements of any social system, which perpetually interact and create, maintain, or untangle mutual social bonds. Social bonds and social systems are perpetually changing and quite often changing the configuration of themselves towards maximization and or optimization. If you think about the traffic roundabout, for instance, it's a classic example of self-organization, and a lot of different municipalities out there, they're changing stoplights to traffic roundabouts, and they are seeing a decrease in traffic accidents. If you've ever been to Southeast Asia or a few cities in South America, you know what I'm talking about. Complete mixed use. Cars, motorcycles, bikes, pedestrians sharing the same space. It looks heavily chaotic, but it's quite self-organized. Open source projects and wiki pages, they're a classic example of self-organized structure. Whatever there are people, whatever there is intent, there will be structure, organization, in a direction to be followed. If you think about the internet, that's a perfect example of a decentralized system that has emerging properties, or even the stock market as well. All of the agents playing in the stock market, they only know a very tiny microcosmos of the whole picture, but still they take actions and they self-organize towards an optimization process. And so do voids, or bird-oid objects. When I was getting into programming a few years ago, I was absolutely mesmerized by that. Voids or bird-oid objects are a graphic way to simulate flocking behavior. And it's just fantastic how these teeny tiny birds or bird-oid objects can self-organize and not hit each other just by following a really simple set of 3 rules. And that's my segue for this week. If your line of work involves creating a community, leading a team, or work with people in any capacity, how is the approach that your team have? It's a strict top-down approach, or have you guys came up with a simple set of rules that can steer the group to self-organize? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you've been working on and how can this help your implementations. And as always, feel free to reach out, drop me a comment, or send me a message. See you next week.